Hey, it's Medium Jenny Lee, and I'm here with the Woo Woo book review number 3. For my book review today, I am reviewing the Pocket Book of Stones, Who They Are and What They Teach, the revised and expanded edition from Robert Simmons. This is clearly the small version, hence the name Pocket. There's 47 new stones in this book. A very good friend of mine bought this for me because she knew I was interested in stones. This particular book was published in 2015. When she gave me the book, I flipped through it a few times. I liked looking at the pictures. I referenced it sometimes when there was a stone that I was looking for or looking at or wanted to know about. But recently, in the last 6 months to a year, I actually read the whole entire thing, cover to cover. There are 353 pages of stones. That's a lot of stones. And then he spends a little time in the back talking about how you can meditate with stones based on how he does it. And then he talks about these particular stones that were pretty interesting and a little bit strange, that some beings informed people that there was these new stones that could be found called azestalites. I think I'm saying that correctly. And he set up this ring in his yard where he super activates them. Now, that sounds all fine and dandy and wonderful, and I'm sure that there's lots of people who have purchased them and they think that they are exactly what they claim to be. I'm not saying that they're not. When I went to their website, which is, it's heavenandearthjewelry.com. Those particular stones cost a whole lot of money. A lot of money. And, you know, he spends time with them and he does this ritual with them, and, you know, he totally believes in what he's doing with them, and I'm sure the added extra time that he spends with them could be calculated into the price of these particular stones, but I don't know. Seems a little bit strange to me. But anyway, so each page has a picture of what the stones look like, and then it tells you some keywords about it, the chakras it's connected to, the elements of the earth or beyond that it's connected to, some spiritual things that it's good for, emotional things that it's good for, and physical things that it's good for. It spends a little bit of time with each one talking about how hard the stone is, where the stone can be found, little tidbits of interesting information about that stone, whether it has special history or anything like that. And then it goes into what Mr. Simmons has experienced with those particular stones, and probably what other people have also. Very interesting, very fascinating. So one of the things that I really like about this book is that in the beginning of the book, you can look through the contents and it'll tell you what page each stone is on if you were looking for a particular stone. But in the very back of the book, it has correspondences. So you can look through the physical, spiritual, the emotional correspondences of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and it'll tell you stones that are good for that particular thing. Like cleansing, for example, or healing, or heart connection, etc., etc., etc. There's like a whole section of the contents of the corresponding things if you were looking for it. So it's definitely a handy reference. I enjoyed reading the book. You know, sometimes if you haven't experienced something yourself, you know, you can think that there's some extra woo-wooiness in there. Like, what are they talking about? But just because you haven't experienced something yourself doesn't mean that it doesn't exist or that it doesn't happen. So you have to just take it as it comes. And I feel like that's the way it is with any of these spiritualism and paranormal and supernatural and whatever you want to call it. Um, be open to it, and and for me personally, until I experience it, I'm just gonna set it on the shelf. You know what I mean? Um, but there's lots of great things about this book, and it's a great reference. So overall, I would say if you're looking for a good reference for crystals and gemstones, look for the ones made by Robert Simmons. I'm sure he has the larger version of this. There's probably a more updated version of it, I would think. I'm not positive about that. But yeah, overall, it's a good book. I just not gonna spend $1,000 on a Zestia Lightstone or whatever from their website. Sorry, Mr. Simmons. But yeah, good book. If you need a reference book for crystals and gemstones, and even though I read it all and I wish I could remember all the details about all the stones, it just didn't happen. But I can always go back and look at it again because I own it. So that's my review of the Pocketbook of Stones. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Go look at my other book reviews. There's 2 more of them, hence this is number 3. And if you haven't already, give me a subscription. Bye-bye.